Not giving in to temptations. Last Saturday would have been my girlfriend's parents' 30th anniversary. There was chicken wings, there was goujons, there was cake. Oh my god, all the nice stuff. I was 3 days into prep. Actually didn't bother me one bit. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm so locked in. Like, look, I even said at the table, everyone's like, oh, do you want to eat that? I was like, no, I'm on prep. That was it. I was in the store, nobody else asking anymore. But it also put it in my head that when I said I wasn't on prep, or when I was on prep, even if I did go to grab one then an hour later or half an hour later, they were like, I thought he was in prep. You know, so I put it more aware in my head to stick to the plan more. So that's what it's, you know, a lot of people put it out there what they're planning on doing into the world. But it's all well and good saying it, but it's actually doing the do. You can say you're going to do the do, but are you going to do the do? That's a bit of Chris Williamson, something. I know I butchered his sayings, right? But it's easy to talk about it. Even when I said to my coach there, like, oh, I'm locked in now, and he said, just start to prep. And then when last Thursday, he was like, when I said, look, I did this, X, Y, and Z, and he was like, good, you're actually doing the do. You're actually putting it into action, as in you're not just saying it. Because it's very easy for us all to say it. We all want to do X, Y, and Z. And we always say it to ourselves, but the thing then, when we say it, and if we don't follow through, it kind of, you know, depending on who you say it to, it's kind of like, oh, sure, he doesn't stick to anything he says, or he don't stick to anything, or he says stuff, so his word doesn't mean nothing, he don't do it. So that's what, you got to be careful what you say that you're going to do, and make sure you actually do it and achieve it. Because like I'm saying, I'm going to be the most shredded I've ever been in my life. Yes, there's going to be hard points, there's going to be events, you know, coming up and different stuff like that. Am I going to be drinking alcohol? No. Am I going to be eating off plan? No. I haven't ate off plan at all since starting, right? And it's over a week and a half now. It takes like 2 weeks to even just get used to foods and stuff. Okay, this week foods didn't change. Nothing actually changed from this week's prep. Even the scales didn't change, but there was, I think there's something lying in the background, you know. Someone was a bit iffy, as in, not a stomach or anything like that. I don't know what it was. It was like just bloatedness, gassy, more bloatedness more so than anything. There's a lot of stuff going around. I always do tailor or pick up stuff at the back end, but thankfully my immune system is fairly strong that I don't get wiped out, and I get tail ends of it. Sometimes I don't even know I'm sick, and it's just, I can see in the background that my insulin sensitivity is shockingly bad, or I will notice my energy slightly in workouts, but it's mainly the weight, the scales, kind of what does it, because everything was 100% to plan. I was down like 8 grams of rice every day, and what else? There was only small little changes throughout last week. We had 25 weeks, like you said, no rush, no panic. We're just going to tailor it bit by bit. Jesus, your man had a right slap there off the fucking bump, and I can't overtake him in it. But even with setting past tag, I go to him, look, I told my coach, because I tell my coach everything in relation to the plans, what's going ahead and all that. I have set Paz, keep over, man. I have set Paz plan or stag for the 20th of December. And look, this, yes, was a tailor around myself, yes. And Paz, because he'd be on prep as well. It's tailored around that because I get a week diet break on Christmas. So that's 1 week off, and I was like, look, throw the stag into that, because, you know, that's where we won't be ruining as much progress, and it's deep into prep. I'll be a good big condition by then. I know a good few months after that then as well. It'll be a nice handy place in the middle. That's probably, look, I don't know, I probably will have alcohol that day. I'm not sure, I'm not even thinking about that at the moment, but I'll be staying off around till then. I haven't drank alcohol since last December, and look, it helps in relation to more protein synthesis, as you absorb protein, helps with recovery, helps with sleep, helps with energy, helps with immune system, building it up, and being off it, know what I'm talking about. It helps in a lot of different stuff: skin, hair, nails, everything. Your mental health. If you're dealing with any of those that I just said, have a look what you're drinking. You know, if you're saying stuff there like, oh, I'm going to do this, and you're not doing it, have a look at your motivation, your drive, what's going on. Are you drinking a lot of alcohol? You know, and sort of stuff like that. If you're in a job, I know some people that they out every single weekend, you know, without fail. It's all well and good if you're social and you're liking it, but if you're doing it and you're not liking it, you're affecting your whole week. You're just going from a job that you hate to drinking a weekend trip all the way. Look, to be fair, I used to be doing this years ago. I was out every single weekend, a couple of nights during the week, even when I lived in Limerick, which wasn't good. I have been there, I have done it, and thank God that I'm not actually drinking anymore. I don't get me wrong, like I will go out now. I'm starting to learn how to go out without drinking. I always thought I need to have drink. I don't. I can drink my pints of water, I can do this, I can do whatever. I can still communicate. Like, I always thought that I needed alcohol for the courage, just drunk. Because I suppose I would class myself as quite enough guy as well. You know, out and about, you know, obviously when I'm in the shed time, I'll talk to them, talk about gym, talk about anything, I will talk forever. But when I'm in certain situations then where I'll try to ping conversations up, different stuff like that, with certain people that wouldn't have interest or anything in interest with Dave interest, like just all drinking drugs, I won't be able to have this conversation with them. You know, so this week, it's been a busy week. It's been a very busy week. PTs are back. Like, PTs never stopped. They're booming. I have a load of video or calls this week, even trying to get people in to do PTs. So they're going to be just flat right up until December. Classes are starting to pick up as well. I do the soccer class. They were booked out even the Tuesday night. There was 13 people that I trained during my shed. It was good that it was dry outside because I could run 2 stations outside, you know, as well. I have it capped at 12, but look, I just said, look, I can, because it was dry, I could pull someone in. I will always try and get more in if I can. If someone wants to be in the shed, I'm not going to tell them no. Like, I know I should be, because that's the rules, it's 12, whatever, or same with any of the group PTs. But if I can, I will bring someone in, because I'm never gonna try and stop anyone from working out. Obviously, I can't help it when I have 20, not 20, maybe about 10 people on a wait list for getting into soccer classes. You know, obviously I can't bring in the whole lot of 10, because my current soccer class 10 that have been in the shed for the last 3 years, if they can't get a spot, and then someone new comes in and goes to 1 class or 2 classes and then just says, yeah, no, couldn't be bothered going there. And the person that's been in 3 years said, I couldn't get in there yesterday, couldn't go in there because he added X, Y and Z. How's that going to look on Shedwet? How's that going to look on me? How's that going to look on the appreciation that I have for clients as well? That's why a lot of people will be always mentioning, oh sure, you're not getting in here, there's only this there, there's only this there. I'm like, I could, if I was money hungry, I wanted the classes booked out every single night of the week, yes I could, but it's never about money. The classes are so cheap that if it was about money, they would be extraordinary a lot more. Because if you go to a lot of different places all around, anywhere around, you know, you'd soon notice what we offer is really too cheap. But sure, look, we're still surviving. I'm still able to buy my supplements. I'm still able to get to the gym, have a gym membership outside it, have my food, and a whole lot. So we're still going good. Right, so that's kind of the week. Literally, this week was just working PTs. I had no appointments, which was brilliant. No appointments at all. I just did my food shop on the Wednesday, got a few bits, you know. So now heading to the gym in Newcastle West, now heading to the lab, getting in a session. As I said yesterday, I wasn't feeling great in my legs and my stomach. Not even that, I don't know, I was nearly bent to my stomach. But I still pushed through it. I got a big leg day done yesterday regardless. I didn't do cardio yesterday because my toes told me to rest up, but I rested up in relation to I rested up from cardio. I still wanted to get my session in because, like, in my head it's however many sessions, I don't know, 115 sessions or something until my photo shoot, that like if I start taking one off or start taking here because I feel that small bit iffy, things are going to stop. So I'm letting myself leeway for basically giving myself excuses. So I don't want any excuses whatsoever. Look, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. What's going to mean towards the end, I'm going to get shredded. I'm going to get the most shredded in life. I'm going to be digging the trenches. I'm going to be picking at getting off as much body fat as possible. I'm going to see what my level of condition is when I'm turned inside out. I will be dragging myself into the shed. I'll be dragging myself out of the shed. I'll be dragging my legs where they'll feel so heavy when I walk. I'll be pushing on in relation to these. I will be trying to embrace the suffering. Look, it's not for everyone. Everyone doesn't want to be that lean or doesn't want to be like, look, I'm not going to be staged. Well, I'm not going to be stage lean, like it's in not stepping on stage when I'm going into a photo shoot, but I want to have that condition where I look that way for the photo shoot, if you get me. And so that's what I'm kind of going to drive. I've done a couple of photo shoots, now I want to do it extreme, because then if someone does come to me and be like, look, I want to go extreme, I'll know, well, like, look, I know what photo shoot entails, I know what it entails towards the end, I know the hardship, but I want to go that extra hardship, that extra drive, that extra push, that extra few weeks of digging, that, you know, down to a T, down to the wire. That's what we're going to be focusing on, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting as well, learning to see. The reason why I love to see, like, you know, what way the body responds, because my body responds totally, someone else's is different. I could be doing a photo shoot and I could be imaging the same thing to someone else, and nothing could be working. It could be working for me. That is why I actually love coaching, because every single person is different. I set a plan for one person, if I set it for the other, it might not work. So it has to be tailored. You have to find a way for clients. So the thing with me, I'll try a way, and then if that won't work, or the client is not corresponding, or not losing weight, or not gaining weight, or whatever the goal is, we switch it, we train it, we try and find something that suits the client. And look, if we're trying to give everything, and literally everything, we're going all out here, is X, Y, Z and whatever, and there's still nothing happening or whatever, it's either that client isn't in the right space to carry it out at that time, not in their mind frame, doesn't want it, and thinks they want it but not doing the work. Well, then it's you kind of got to let that client go, because you're just taking this money and they're not putting in the work. So it's like, I spend a lot more time than you think putting programs together, putting plans together for each individual, you know. It absolutely kills me when I send out video, go into detail, I can spend a couple of hours putting together a solid plan for the next couple of months ahead, and the person doesn't watch the videos. It literally hits me. It's like, oh my god, like, I wish I was getting this, and I'd be on it, and I'd be reviewing, I'd be writing down notes, and I'd be straight on. Well, I am getting it, like, but I'm just saying, as in, if I was at the other end of myself. So that's what it all comes down to. It's like, if you want it, you will get it. Our coaching is like one-to-one, like, it's proper job. It's in, you're not going on a group call and doing your check-in on a group call, asking questions on a group call. You know, it's not where there's 30 lads in one, it's one-to-one. That's why it's extremely too cheap. We had to get started somewhere, and I'm building my online clients now even more. Now is the ideal time for people to slot in, because I'm learning and I'm loving it, and I'm building. And then the more we build, obviously then I will raise my prices, because obviously I'm worth way more than I am charging at the moment. But you gotta get experience, you gotta get even those results, gotta get people talking about it, gotta get the physiques that, you know, every single person is different, as in man, woman, child, you know, everything. All the different conditions that I kind of training people now, the different levels of challenges, different levels of goals, different levels of, that's what keeps my life interesting, is it's not all fat loss, you know, it's not all fat loss where everything, you know, it's just lose weight. There's so many different other things, and the reason where shed weight kind of tailors around, mentally is the most important thing. It's mindset. If your mindset is not right, you're not going to do anything anyway. When you switch your mindset and you do your mindset like that, everything else falls into place. Everything. So you switch the mindset, and then you watch the physique even change, right? It's all about doing the dailies consistently every single day, that 1% better even every single day. Building habits, as in habit stacking, even doing one thing and making sure to do another thing before or after. That's how you build up a routine. Even on a kind of screen in my phone, I have like my morning basal, what I need to put in, the dawn phenomenon at 3 to 4, it's the Nova wrap in the morning, my basal, like I've said, my pre-workout food, the time I'm having is the insulin that I'm basically given. Then I have my pre-workout insulin, my pre-workout food plan timed, then when I'm training, to post-workout, to how much insulin I'm given post-workout, to then basically how much insulin, these are all 20 minutes out before the insulin, 20 minutes before I eat. Then I also have, like, you know, my dinner / chicken and rice meal before PTs. Then I'm in then, and I have a shake. Look, I'll try and eat it if I have time, but it's a shake because I work like back-to-back hours now, so it's a shake because my coach doesn't want me having too much of a long distance between eating meals. So I get to shake in, then at 10 o'clock I have my last meal. I pull my first meal to my last meal because I don't want to go to bed hungry. That's what I do. So yeah, that's the way I kind of run it. But I have it on my phone screen, so I'm constantly looking at it all the time. I know what I'm eating, I know what I'm giving insulin. This is constantly changing. I need to change it again. I raised on my screen, it's 11 units. I need to go to 13 because I've been doing 13 the last 2 nights now in Basel, and it's a lot better. But I am dealing with something in my stomach. Everything is going to be up, so excuse me, that's why I have to increase everything. Like, I gave insulin 20 minutes before my cream and rice this morning. It's actually 30 minutes before, because it's to go for a shower, as well, different stuff. And basically I feel myself slightly going a small bit like elevating up now at the moment. I can feel it without even having to check. Just sensitivity to insulin is poor. That's kind of what happens in sicknesses. So that's the joys of life, though. But sure, look, I love all these analytics crack and making sure observing. When you love something like that and they're tracking, actually, you know what? It's all to do with the gym, really. I want that physique, and if you don't control the blood sugars in relation to diabetes, you might as well forget about putting even a scoop of protein into your mouth or any sort of nutrients, because they won't get absorbed, because it'll be just so out of whack. Then you'll be just wasting your money. So that's kind of why, in relation to blood sugars and health control, is number one. Same with anything at all. Like, you have to get number one, knuckle down on the health, and then start on like the physical, which starts to come in again. I'm gonna leave this here. There wasn't too much of an updates this week, just a small bit by bit, just talking more so about life. If you're finding these videos, be sure to actually subscribe, like, follow wherever you are seeing these. I'm just kind of keeping a track for myself, keeping every single day, keeping a record of this prep, because then I can look back on it even myself throughout cardio later on. I might even watch my own videos, you never know. Just to drive myself a bit more when I'm digging into the trenches, that I hear myself to basically keep pushing on, no excuses, and just to see the mindset I had earlier on in the prep, to keep that going as well, right? So that's what I'm going to drive from. I'm going to leave it here. I will chat to you in the next one.